I'd like to point something out in relation with the burn to disk function and the creation of chapters. To do this, I'll leave the burn to disk dialog. I'll click on the X up here. And now we're back in my sequence, and I can see the sequence markers that we created for the specific chapters. And to help us discuss the following topic, I'll create one more marker at the end of my film, so right at the end of the sequence. To do this, I'll open the sequence marker window, and I'll use the set marker function. Now I have a marker at the end of my film. If we were to create a disk with these settings, it wouldn't be very useful to have a marker right at the end of my film, because we could jump to the marker, but there would be nothing following it. But in order to show you what I want to, it's quite useful. You may find that you want to do some changes to your project after you have created markers. For example, you might want to remove, say, this clip here. So to do this, I'll select the clip, I can see the correct mode is selected, and then I can simply use the delete key, and so all the clips that were on a track where the sync lock was active and with ripple active would be moved along. I'll press delete. Now we can see these clips have been moved along. But what we can straight away see is that the sequence markers stay at their original time position. They appear to be locked to the specific time point at which they were placed, and when performing an edit function such as this one, they don't follow. So now, if I was to burn this project using the disk export function, then my chapters would no longer be correct. So I'll undo. And now we can see the markers are in the correct positions, the positions that we created in the first place. So in relation to this, we can see that probably the best approach is to create your sequence markers when you have finished all the editing work you wish to do on a sequence. The problem being that if I do some editing after I have created my markers, the markers will not be at the correct position anymore. In relation to this, it would be great if a future version of Edius had the option to have sequence markers sync locked to the other tracks, so that when you did some editing, the markers would also follow those edits. This would mean that I no longer have to readjust all my markers after I have done some editing. And this would clearly save a lot of work.